Hello, welcome back to the shed. It's time for another review. And this is the Graham Farish, a fairly recent release. I think it's the Class 24 diesel in blue and yellow. So it's number 372978. BR blue, as you can see, 6-pin DCC ready. This was a bit of an impulse buy, to be honest. Actually the first loco I ever bought, and I just had a rare window of opportunity to have a little mosey on into town to a model shop. Both kids in tow, and the 1-year-old slept through the whole thing in the buggy, but my 4-year-old tried to basically get me to buy the whole model shop. Absolutely loved it. So I saw this on display and got all nostalgic for the blue and yellow livery that was around when I was a kid. And so I had to buy it. Then had the most amazing espresso from 6-8 Cafe to celebrate. Highly recommended 6-8 Cafe in Birmingham if you're around there. So let's open up the box without further ado. Off comes the sleeve, and you get this hard plastic case. Let's have a look. You get a bit of info about running in, hour each way it says. It will run on radius 1 curves but prefers radius 2, and lubrication, DCC decoder fitting and so on, and a bit about how to fit extra detail to it, which I'll show you in a minute. Parts diagram, and this is quite interesting. You get, with the extra detail, you get the little discs for the head codes, and they tell you what combination of head codes means in terms of what train it should be pulling, which is quite helpful. So that's that. Oops, knocking the camera. So there's the loco. As I say, the extra detail is in here. If I can get the camera to focus on that. So we get tons of head code discs, and I think there's a sort of a coupler in there if you want to replace the functional coupler. And I think there's a little step in there as well for the front. So good bit of extra detail. The loco itself, see if we can just lift it out and focus. There she is. Dinky little loco. I love N-gauge, the fact that you can just fit the whole model in the palm of your hand. Class 24 is not a huge loco anyway, but yeah. So the Class 24, built late 50s, early 60s, uses a Sulzer 6-cylinder engine. I've seen a few clips on YouTube. I think they sound great. I've not actually seen one in real life recently, but they've got a lot of character to the sound. Have a search on YouTube. There's like a few videos of the real thing. They were in service till the late 70s, early 80s. And they would have shunted, they would have hauled freight and pulled passengers. There would have been 2 doubled up for really heavy trains. Yeah, really useful engines. I didn't buy 2 though, that would be a bit excessive, so I've just got this one for now. It's 24081. Which I just happen to know because I googled it, was the very last Class 24 in active service, and is actually still around today in preservation, so she's a real survivor, still going strong, so have a Google and read up. Okay, so I'll have a little closer look at the detail and then we'll get her on the track. Nice handrails, really do like the livery. It's quite a bit of a nostalgia trip, I must admit. lights, we'll see a light up when we get her on the track. Okay. So, how does she run? Well, it may just have been my inexperience and impatience, but I have had a few problems with this model, mostly self-inflicted, as I say. At first she lit up but wouldn't move, and then she wouldn't even light up at all, but as I say, it was an impulse buy and I only had a DCC controller, so I was trying to run it with a DCC controller in analog mode, and then I read that is not recommended and can cause problems, so I thought I'd actually fried the motor completely, but I got the train set, the Merseyside Express. See my other review for that. Got that all working and put the 24 on the track, the train set track, with the proper DC controller. Still didn't work. Took the body off, put it on again, nothing. Gave her a nudge and she shut off and has been working well since then. I think the main problem is when you take the body off and put it back on, you have to get it seated perfectly. There's a little, you may be able to see a little gap there, but I think that's just a loose contact perhaps that was causing problems. So I don't think it's a fundamental issue, I just think it's probably my heavy-handedness, and it was a display model as well, so maybe it's taken a few knocks. So, enough rambling. When she runs, she is very smooth and the lights look fantastic, so definitely a great loco and a real survivor, just like the real thing. So time to get her running, I think. Okay, let's give her something to couple up to and make it a bit more interesting.